Hello, my name is Miranda H.P.
And I'm Connor Calloway.
And we are the Bountiful Bards.
Please join us in our first ever recorded D&D campaign,
The Fountains of Cathaidra.
So you and your brother find yourselves at the top of a well. Your brother looks down at it and goes, "Is there anything I can do to persuade you not to go down there?"
Nope.
All right, hand me your rope.
Slough it off.
He takes it, grabs one hand of it, takes the rest and just throws it over into the well where it falls down to the bottom. He sees that he has enough, walks over to a nearby oak tree and begins tying a knot. Let me go ahead and roll and see how good of a knot he ties. Do a survival check. That'll do. So he ties this just atrocious looking knot. It is absolutely hideous. There looks to be no expertise in it whatsoever. And he goes, "Look at this, the copper knot. My captain taught it to me. He says this is his unique knot." He gives a good firm tug on it to make sure it doesn't go anywhere.
Is that what he told you? Well, I'll go first. I'm lighter, so it should hold.
It should. Yeah.
Okie dokie then. So I'm going to take some rags out.
Okay.
And put them around my hands.
Okay.
It's always easier to go down a rope than it is to go up one.
Oh, okay. Give me an athletics check.
Especially since, you're rappelling.
Yeah.
Which is really easy.
Yeah, rappelling's a lot easier than climbing, that's for sure.
Oh, it's hecka easier. So it'll be... Oof, that dice does not like me. 6.
So grab a hold of the rope. Your brother, he's holding, I don't know why he's holding on to the other end, I guess, to, in case his knot fails. You start going over the side and you climb down. You get about 5-10 feet. Then your foot slips and you don't really lose your footing, but your whole body just goes whack right into the side of the well there.
Yes.
So you're going to take 1 point of bludgeoning damage just from just smacking against it. Are you all right?
Yeah.
You got it? Or do you want me to pull you back up? I told you this was a bad idea.
No, we've gone too far.
We haven't gone far at all. You hear him echo down the well. After which you're able to climb the rest of the way down. Do you see anything?
Do I see anything?
Well, the torch your brother threw down there has completely gone out.
Makes sense.
So it is dark. Do you have any type of light source?
I mean, yeah, I do. But let me see if I've got... I think I do, because I have the adventuring... Yeah, I have a lamp.
Okay, so you brought a lamp?
Apparently.
Well, all right. So you pull out your lamp and you go ahead and light it.
I also brought soap.
Soap is also useful.
You have no idea what I'm going to use that for.
No idea at all. So you get your lamp lit. It has a little clicker on the inside that, helps the oil to start burning so you can actually look up and see. And yes, you're at the bottom of a well. You can actually probably reach your arms out to either side and touch either side pretty easily. But right there in front of you is a fracture in the stone that's wide enough for you to squeeze through with your pack off, holding it out, leading into just more darkness.
Do I see snow?
Give me a perception check.
Perception.
Mm-hmm.
8.
You do not see snow. You do not see a lamppost. You do not see a man walking around with goat legs.
Dang it.
This is definitely not that kind of area.
And certainly no Turkish delight.
No Turkish delight at all. That will never be in this campaign.
All right.
There will be no betraying.
Jimothy, come on.
All right. Just give me a second. I'll be right there.
You can always lower stuff down first if you think your badonk is going to be too heavy.
No, I got it.
Okay. You always did like to carry more than you needed to.
He actually does make it. As he goes to climb...
he says with surprise.
Oh, well, yeah, I rolled low, but he has a +5 to athletics, so he starts to lower himself. Well, that's his...
He does a lot of push-ups, I get it.
Yeah, that's his forte. So he starts to lower himself down, and as he, hand over hand, and he lands next to you. He goes, "See? No problem."
Drama queen.
"Oh, look, my torch." He picks up his torch. "Can you light it?"
Mm-hmm. Open the side of the lamp so we can light it.
All right. Gets a little bit of the strand of the torch, and then...
Is he
ignites
disappointed
it.
I didn't whoosh for him?
No, not necessarily. Maybe he just wants to be surprised. Maybe, yeah, you know what? Let's just go. He goes, "Oh, I thought you were going to do some magic."
Can't spoil you that soon with it.
What'd you find?
There's a crack in the bottom of the well.
There's a crack in the bottom of the well.
There's a crack in the bottom of the well.
Goes over and holds in his torch.
Does it blow the torch out?
It's a cave.
Well,
There's a little bit of air moving. Not a lot. A little bit. But yeah, it's a cave.
Should probably be a little quiet then.
Cave. Okay, I'll be a little quieter.
Well, again, I'm smaller and I'm not carrying the entire house with me, so I'll try to squeeze through. Let me shutter the lamp. Put the little thingy in front of it so it does like the thieves' lamp look. With the slit.
Yes, I do. Are you making fun of my pot? I have to bring it in case we have to cook something. You're gonna love this if we have to eat. I brought rations.
All right, Samwise.
As you both squeeze through, yes, you do find yourself in a massive cave.
Stalactites? Stalagmites?
Mm-hmm. The roof of it is about maybe 12, 16 feet above you. It widens out, but yes, it's jutting rock. No easy path, it seems, through it. You definitely have to be careful as you move if you want to continue into this cave.
Well, there's no place else to go. It was just a well, so... Right? No place else to go?
There's no place else to go. It just
All right.
seems...
Is this one of those, like, damp caves, or is it a pretty cave?
It is damp, but that also can make it pretty as the light is glistening off the stalagmites and the stalactites. Who knows which is which? I know the stalagmites might fall. No, it's might fall. It's not might trip.
Oh, that's right, and then tight squeeze.
They're tight to the... We'll look it up later. Just don't ask me to describe at all.
Okay, so, well, that means the floor is probably slippery, and caves have that particular slip. So we're obviously going to be very careful moving forward.
True. So you're moving forward?
Carefully.
All right. Roll me a survival check with advantage because you're there with your brother and you're both trying to traverse these caves.
Okay, first roll. Geez, these dice hate me. I might use something else. Oh, well, with advantage. 19.
As you start to go in, yes, the ground is a little slippery. As you reach out to grab some of the rock to stable yourself, it does have kind of a moist dampness to it. But you're able to maintain your footing, the two of you, staying relatively close to one another and helping each other balance as you squeeze through a few of these rock fixtures and then climb over the top of another. Jimothy almost bumps his head on another little part of it, or another of the rocks hanging down, but you quickly grab him and have him bend down so that he doesn't cut himself or anything like that. It starts to slope downward a little bit, and you have to be careful so you don't slip and fall down into this, almost like this gaping maw of this beast that of this throat of this beast you're climbing down within. This time, I want you to roll me an athletics check, or Jimothy can. It's all up to you.
Well, Jimothy, he's got the push-ups.
Okay.
I can't talk my way out of a cave. The rocks don't listen to me. They might, I suppose. Do you think they prefer classic or contemporary rock?
This time, Jimothy takes the lead as he goes and climbs down to the slanted rocks in front of him, helping you down, and then down to the next, and then down to the next. It takes a good 15, 20 minutes to make it down to the bottom of this sloped area. Together, the two of you continue to make your way into this cave, and it starts to get narrower as you go. It goes up a little bit, and then climbs back down, goes to the left and back to the right. You're getting pretty far in here. I would say you've gone 100, maybe 150 yards underground. And about this time, Jimothy's going to look back and go, I wonder if there's going to be any end to this. I don't see any sign of any of those goblin people.
Well, they had to have come from somewhere, and what they looked like was so weird that I can't exactly imagine that they just popped over from the next county. So there is something weird and twisty here, but there has to be an end. And if there isn't, well, we got exercise.
And a nice new hiding spot.
Maybe. I don't trust caves as hiding spots.
Agendas. Uh-oh. There's a wall. And before you see an incline, a vertical incline. There's a vertical incline in front of you with a lip at the top. And you see a little bit of light. Jimothy goes, nowhere to go but up, I guess.
Yeah, heft me up and I'll see.
Unless you want to go back.
Heft me up and I'll take a peek.
All right, be careful. We're going to have to climb a little bit.
All right, which is why I'm going to stand on your shoulders and see what I can see first.
It's a lot higher than that. It's about maybe 25-foot wall of just jagged rock that you're definitely going to have to be careful and make me an athletics check to get to the top.
Okay, but I am going to stand on his shoulders first. He's tall.
That's fine.
And he can...
So he helps you up. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check with advantage.
13.
13 just barely beats the DC. The DC was 12.
Excellent.
So he hefts you up, and you start climbing, and you even use his face to push yourself up. He's like, that's okay. It's all right. And you're able to climb your way up, and then he's coming right behind you. And you get to the top of this ledge. And at the top, you can see about 15 feet away, there seems to be a dull orange light source coming from that area. What do you do?
I feel like we should move really quietly at this point.
Stage whisper.
Was that not a stage whisper? Okay.
All right. So, we'll be sneaky. Let's roll some stealth checks.
Okay. I can do that. Then can I just talk normally and pretend I'm not, being normal?
Yes, that's fine.
Just good Lord. 12.
12?
Yep.
All right. Well, he rolled a 4. So, it gives you a combined stealth check of 8. So, as you're moving along, Jimothy's pot rattles a bit too much and kind of like scrapes against the cave wall. But you're making your way as quietly as you can until you come to the next room. Whoa, Jimothy says as you scurry on hands and knees into the next room. What you see before you is an underground town. No. A lot of the buildings look to be in ruin. These are underground ruins. The two of you are on a rock shelf that's above most of the buildings. There's about 1 to maybe even 2 dozen of these buildings, 2 to 3 stories tall, made of reddish brick. You'd have to get a lot closer to really examine them, but they're buildings that you've never seen before. Most buildings you've seen have been made out of stone, sure, but not like this. And not in this pattern either. They seem to be in, a design. There's also an orangish glow that's illuminating the entire room.
Is the glow from up above?
It is. And from down below. Roll me a perception check. Or a nature check.
17. Well, 18. 16 and then plus 2. Yep.
You glance around and you feel that there is movement in the air. So there is a current. So it doesn't smell stale down here like you think it would. But then you look to your left and there's a little patch of... You don't know what it is, but it's glowing orange. You could take a knife or something and look a little closer. When you do, it looks to be like a fungus. Just a glowing fungus. But it provides light for this entire area. Very interesting.
I'm going to put some in a little jar.
Okay.
Just cause. You never know.
Not a problem. You take a little bit and you put one in a little bit of a vial where it glows and you cap it and tuck it in your bag. And Jimothy goes, "What is this?"
Well, it looks a lot like a ruined town or ruined city or... I don't know. Do we see any creatures moving about? Any more of the gobbles?
Roll another perception check with advantage. For Jimothy's helping you.
Good, because the first one was a nat 1. The second one was a nat 20.
Oh, wow.
I must have sneezed.
No, you didn't sneeze, but we will say that as you were looking, you were very fascinated with the fungi. And then you heard a noise and you glance over and Jimothy points down and you actually see what looks like small humanoids at a distance walking between a few of the buildings holding a torch, maybe 2 or 3 of these humanoids. And you may think that they're probably going to be goblins.
Well, we probably don't want to get into an altercation if we can't help it. We don't know what all is down here.
Yeah, we should definitely go back and get the guard, shouldn't we?
Maybe. Could look around a little bit.
Promise me you won't try to pick a fight with anybody.
I won't. Why? I just said we're trying to avoid that.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that more for myself than you.
I won't pick a fight, but if a fight comes to me, that's not my fault.
So what are we gonna do? Just check out some of these buildings or something? Or what do you want to do?
Well, let's do a rough sketch of the area just to kind of get the gist of what's going on here.
All right.
So I want to take out some paper and just do a really rough sketch, just kind of what I see.
Okay. We do so. It takes about 10 minutes in order for you to get it done, picking out some of your charcoal and sketching out kind of a rough map. You're no cartographer by any means. It would take hours to do that. But for this, you were simply just jotting down your location, whereabouts, and maybe even a few markings on the wall just so you can get a good idea.
Well, and also if we're going back to tell people about it, it'd be good to give them a chance to see some semblance of scale.
Right. Now over to the left, looks like there's a ramp of some sort, just a natural formed slope, maybe where some erosion had created it, where you can start making your way down amongst the buildings if you would like.
Yep, let's make our way downtown.
All right.
But we won't walk fast.
You won't walk fast?
No, we'll walk slow.
Nice and slow. All right. As you make your way down to the bottom of the slope, you now find yourselves at the beginnings of these buildings. Now, you've seen buildings this tall in Miro. They build buildings like this all the time, no problem. But these are old. The stone is old. The erosion has just made it. And I mean, not even an erosion, just the erosion of time, not natural resources like water. You can just feel that it's just from another time. Perhaps from the time before. I know that's something that might pique your interest.
Very much so.
So what would you like to do first now that you are among these buildings? You're at the very beginning.
Well, I'm going to try to look and make, because we were up a bit so we could kind of see over it. So I want to make logical sense of it. So we know where the humanoids were meandering off to. So we obviously don't want to try to run into them.
They were definitely off to your right and you went down towards your left.
So I want to kind of get the gist of how it's laid out. Because most towns and cities, no matter where they're from, tend to be laid out in a similar fashion, that there's a main thoroughfare.
Right.
And offshoots. And the main thoroughfare usually leads to an important place either in the middle or on the other end. So I would like to attempt to head to the middle, but without meeting any of our fanatical friends along the way.
All right, let's roll new stealth checks then.
Excellent. Eggs and bacon.
He rolled a 16.
Attaboy. Because I rolled another nat 20.
All right.
I was really excited, I guess.
20 plus what?
Oh, 2. 1. Sorry.
21 plus 16?
Yar.
37? Yeah.
On the average.
Yeah, I already have it. So you start making your way in. So what do? What are you looking for? What would you like to explore, as it were?
I'm looking for any potential identifying markers in any of these buildings. You know how some people will have things above them that say what they are. If there's anything that tells was this a store? Because even in ancient ruins that have been unearthed, they usually have indicators that tell what they are. If it looks like people actually still live there in any capacity, or if it's just a place that has been forgotten and the goblins themselves are also invaders.
Wonderful. What would you like to check out first?
The first building we come across, the lintel, the windows. Is there a door? Like anything? Like if it's carved of rock, doors made of rock are really impractical. So there would probably be doors made of wood, unless it's so old the wood has rotted away. Does it look like there's something functional there, or?
So the building immediately to your left, as you start stepping into this conglomeration of structures, there is no wooden door. It's a completely empty archway. It points at the top, comes to a point, a steeple. Not a steeple, but it's an archway that it goes up straight, arches, and then comes to a point. And then the windows are actually, what's the shape? It's not diamond. Not oval either, but it has a point at each end.
Pointed ovoid, perhaps?
Sure, but that's what the windows look like in this area.
Like eyes. So it's like eyes watching.
It could be. That's a creepy way to look at it. Okay. Well, they're eyes that are skewed completely.
Cat eyes.
Cat eyes, yeah, like the pupils of a cat eye. Yes, that's what they look like. They're large, but there's no wood coverings of them, though. They are dark. As your light is reflecting against this brick, you can investigate inside of it if you'd like. It's up to you.
I definitely want to take a peek just to see, get kind of a feel for what this place was. If this feels like a regular home, or a fancy schmancy home, or a store, or if this architecture is repeated.
All right. So as you walk up to the door to look inside, I want you to roll me a d10.
9.
Looking inside, some of the floors above have fallen through, unfortunately. The stairway to go up above seems to have been destroyed. But inside, you see beautiful colors across the wall. Nothing really, it's not abstract, not naturalistic or anything like that. It's just like somebody took some nice paint and just made swift swirls or waves or just lines and curves on the wall to kind of give the room a more aesthetically appealing look with color. It is old, though, so the color has faded. There are some rotten, debris over in the corner as well. You'd have to investigate a little bit closer if you were trying to find anything else.
Yeah, very carefully, because I don't know how solid any of these structures are. Well, the structure itself is stone, and it stood for however knows long, so it's probably not going to fall because I exist, but again, just being careful not to touch anything unnecessarily.
Oh, okay. All right, give me an investigation check.
I'll investigate, all right. But I'll investigate poorly. 9, 10, 11, 13.
13? Okay. Walking along the walls, you just looking very closely at the color. This seemed to be maybe a home of some sort, or maybe not. I mean, it's a fairly large room. Who knows what could have occurred here? You begin scratching down little notes in your notebook, trying to, anything that you see.
Do I see anything that looks like a language?
Ooh, give me a perception check. I'm going to do a lot of skill checking here.
I see that. 2. My brother would help me out. Perception.
He's standing by the door, keeping watch for you.
Fine. Be practical. No, I just got a 2.
So. A 2? Nothing that you can see that, out of the ordinary, I would say.
What's the layout? Is there a place that you could tell maybe was a kitchen, or is it just a big room?
It is a big room that you're standing in, but there's another doorway that as you glance into, it looks like it'd be a smaller area that, what's this?
What's this?
It's rusted over completely, but there is an iron pot in this room in the back corner, as if stored there. It's kind of tilted a little bit. And a few other stone chests? It's stone that had apparently wooden tops on top of them, like stone boxes with wooden tops on them, but the wooden tops have rotted and fallen inward back in the back corner of this room.
Ooh, I'm going to check them out.
All right. Go over there. Give me one more investigation check when you're checking it out.
Carefully, obviously.
Of course.
16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. You're going and you're rummaging through and you're just kind of barely lifting, looking, being careful. There's a little bit of this orangish fungi in here as well. Not a lot, but just give you enough light plus your lamp. And you actually do find something underneath the third stone chest you look into. It's a cylinder about yay big, which is a couple of inches in diameter, and it's probably about 3/4 of a foot long. It's a brass cylinder with carvings on the outside of it that wrap and spiral down around it all the way to the bottom. Carvings of symbols of some sort. Not much unlike what you found on the side of your little wand that you used. On the top of this cylinder looks like a little cork. Like a reddish cork that's stuck into the top.
Well, I probably want to try to read it before I figure out uncorking it.
You don't know what could be in there. It could be it could be a whole nest of venomous magical bugs. It could be a genie. Who knows what your husband has prepared?
Right? Who does know?
Who does know?
Okay, so I'm going to comprehend languages, that sucker.
Gonna comprehend that languages? Is that a ritual by any chance?
No.
All
I
right.
don't think so.
So you wish to comprehend languages?
Yep.
That's all right. So
Just says social. Doesn't say ritual. Casting time. 1 action. Rage.
No, it's fine. So you go, you sit down, you put your lamp next to it, and you sit the bottle down, and you focus. Now, you still, after 5 years of studying and trying to figure this out, do not completely understand what goes on. But you reach out to this, it's a connection of something. You've gotten too far to where, if you reach out to this, whatever it is, this magic you can do, there is a connection, almost like a thread. But when you try to really focus on it, it just scatters. So it's more of you have to notice it's there instead of trying just to grab and grapple with it. It doesn't even make sense, but that's the best way to describe it. But you let that naturally just connect with you again. And you remember the harmonics that you felt that one time when you found the books that your mother had stored away from you in the restricted area that she couldn't read because it was an old dead language, and you were able to read. Now, the runes that are wrapping around, you cannot read. As your spell comes from your hands, it's like it becomes, well, I would say scanned, but that's kind of out of the story link there. But there's a shimmer as your magic just kind of caresses the outside of it, and then in front of you is like unraveling of a scroll, words. The runes you see are magical, and you do not know enough about it. It's like the handle as well. But what good is a magical item without maybe a name or some instructions? Maybe not all of them have that, but maybe some of these do. And wrapped around the top, it does translate into endless water.
Well, that's better than bugs. So I found a container of endless water.
Perhaps. You'd have to open it to find out.
Yeah, but that seems like that'll create more problems than it'll solve, so I'm gonna tuck that away for now.
Just open it. Do what you want, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I feel like it'd be useful later if we need water. At least it wasn't endless mayo.
I ate all the mayo too.
Ugh.
Is it copyright infringement if we bring up Critical Role?
No.
Maybe not. Oh well.
Creative Commons.
Right.
But, well, I'm just mentioning them anyway. But regardless, so I found this thingy. Is there anything else that I have found that, within reason, I'm not going to go up to the second floor. I just kind of want to, I'm not going to scale the walls.
That seems to be everything in the area. You just kind of give a good look around.
All
just to see what was going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I will sidle up to my brother.
Oh! Okay, you could... What'd you find?
An endless water flask.
What? What?
Right?
Right? What?
Let's find something else. Come on.
Wait.
Just think of how much cool stuff we could find here if we found this already. Come on.
How's the water endless?
Magic. Builds character.
Okay.
Off we go.
Alright, so do you move further into the area?
Yep.
Alright.
Next, please. Obviously still being careful. Trying not to, draw attention to ourselves. Keeping the lamp on that little slit.
Alright. So you move along. There seems to be more buildings. You seem to be on some sort of small street connecting to another. The buildings are overlaying. The streets seem to be running from left to right instead of north to south for right now, but they end at the rock face. So you can literally you and your brother can look out and kind of see the rock face to either side, which is about 200-300 yards wide. I don't know the exact dimensions, but it's fairly large.
Cool.
Almost all of Dewdrop could fit down here. Not entirely, not the farms or everything, but the main conglomeration of your town center could possibly fit down here.
Well, that's why we're headed for the center. All the interesting stuff happens there.
So is there anything you would like to do as you try to make your way towards this center?
Yeah, just poke my head into whatever building, see if there's anything worth rummaging through.
All right, well, roll me another D10.
Because, hey, I found this really cool shiny thing. You never know what I could find in the next one. 6.
As you and your brother are making your way between two buildings, he stops you. Something's coming.
Maybe we should flatten ourselves against a wall, or can we duck into a building?
He puts his torch down and stomps it. Actually, he's already stomped his torch because of the glowing fungus, so...
Makes sense.
He's like, yeah, I guess we need to get in this building over here.
In we go.
So you make your way into one of the nearby buildings. And you start to hear it. It's movement of feet, just a scratching of feet, maybe 5, 6, maybe 7. And as you're both looking out, you see a group of individuals past. It's goblins. And they're dressed in about the same attire that you saw at the farm. And they're talking to one another, what seems to be in their own language. Or is it?
I can still hear, because it's not been an hour.
That's right, you can.
What are they saying, the little gremlins?
You hear, well, we have no idea what happened to the ones that went up top. Well, hopefully they're doing their job and figuring out what we need to do to get a hold of the town. And hopefully they took care of our little problem as well. Do you think we need to tell Nadra we haven't heard back from him yet? No, not yet. Let's give it another hour or so. They said they were going to be gone for a couple of days anyways, before we see what he wants us to do. All right. What do you think they did to old Eklar? Hopefully they took care of the problem. Let's not say much more about it in case others sneak up and hear us. Yeah, we don't want any of those to hear us. And they continue walking along. Jimothy goes, after a moment, who is Nadra and Eklar?
It's a good question.
Do we keep going?
I think so. I think we need to find out more, to be honest. You heard them, didn't you? They want to take the town?
He didn't hear them, but we're going to retroactively say you told him what they said. I made that. Anyways, we fixed that problem there. So after they moved past, you told them what you said. I forgot he does not have that comprehend languages.
Right. He looks at me, he's like,
Exactly, and you tell him.
Yeah.
All right. Back on scene. All right. Let's just make sure we don't run into any of them. They had more of those nasty looking, I think I saw like a curved looking sword on them. And some cross, and looks like some bows of some sort. So let's be careful.
That was always the plan.
All right. Let's roll another stealth check.
So many stealth checks.
Ooh. 17.
Nat 20. This one likes me.
Use a different one. You have a lot of nat 20 so far.
Well, it's just a button.
No, you're using one of the... Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's from Wizards of the Coast, so you can blame them.
I do blame them.
Okay.
Quit giving my wife 20s.
Well, it gave me a natural 1, and then it started giving me natural 20s, so...
Oh, okay. Well, there's got to be a lot of gray there. Make it interesting, D&D.
I'm pretty sure it will.
I know. All right, so you continue to make yourself more into this building area. Making your way across one big street, going into a nice little alleyway. The buildings here are starting to look a little different. They're curved.
Ooh.
So as you're walking in, they're curving away from you.
I'm going to stick my head into one of them and go explore one of them.
All right, roll me another D10.
This one bursts into flames and eats you. 5.
As you step into this one, it's a long building where a hall stretches off to either your left or your right. It's dark in here, but that's all you can ascertain so far.
Do I hear anything?
Roll me a perception check.
Let's see, are you happy? I rolled 9.
Plus your modifier? 9?
0.
Oh, so 9. You don't hear anything but the lack of sound.
No.
Silence.
The sound of silence. Going to just barely creak open a little bit of the lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Just a tiny bit of light. Slit of light.
Doesn't seem to be anything of interest in here.
Nothing at all?
Not in this area. You'd have to go further in to really try to investigate the area.
Well, that's what I want to do.
All right. You walk in. Do you take a left or a right?
Left.
All right. as you make your way to the left, this is a large building, and there's room after room after room.
Do they have those little hand soaps somewhere?
No hand soaps anywhere, no. But each room is empty, except for maybe cobwebs, the standard stuff you would find in old places. You're careful of each room you're going past, though, because as you go further away from your brother, who's going to continue watching your back and slowly make his way behind you, it's getting a little wearier that you can't see. A little bit more creepy, as quiet as it is in here.
Okay.
At the end of the hallway is a stone spiral stairway.
So Jimothy is behind me? Is he making his way behind me?
Yes, of course. He's just, he's standing probably about 30 feet behind you just to be on the lookout.
All right, I'm going to gesture for him to catch up to me.
Okay.
And I'm going to point up.
All right.
Gesturing for him to stay.
Okay.
Go up. Well, a little bit at a time.
Sounds like a plan. He nods back at you as he turns back around to continue watching over his shoulder as y'all... There you go. You go up 2 windings, and then you're on the second floor. Seems to look like the rest, and it goes up apparently another floor.
I'm going to go up to the top, because then we could potentially see what we can see.
Okay. Well, the top is actually the roof. As you continue to make your way, climbing all the way up to the top, you come out onto a stone terrace. Is that what it's called, a terrace?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that the lantern doesn't go up, that it's still...
Right. And it's actually, the building is lined with a stone archway that comes up to that same point, but high enough, about 4 feet high, basically, so you could walk over to the edge if you wanted to safely. Mm-hmm. Perhaps whoever lived here could do that. Across the top, you see just a scattering of broken or rotten wood that were set in shape, sort of, but now that they've rotted, they've just kind of fallen all over the place.
I kind of rummage about.
Okay. There's a lot of dirt up here. A lot of just dirt.
It's probably a rooftop garden.
Maybe.
Anything useful, interesting, intriguing, dangerous?
Not up here, but you can see on the other side of this building if you wanted to.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna take a look carefully.
Make no perception checks needed. As you go to look over the side, you actually see a plaza, an open area. The building that you're standing on that curves actually connects to 4 other buildings that are shaped the same, just all in a circular pattern. And then from here is exactly what you're talking about. Streets head off to either way. Not like in Paris where the Arc de Triomphe is. Mm-hmm. Not that large, of course, but that type of setting. And down in the middle of the plaza, it looks like a giant... you've seen them in Miro, but maybe not this large. Is a rather large fountain. Empty.
Darn.
It's not flowing, but there is a fountain in this plaza, and there's a bunch of scatterings of, broken wood and everything like that. What do you see? Jimothy says, walking up behind you.
A dried up fountain.
Oh, what's that? And he points. And across the way, you see something come scurrying out. And then a few more somethings come scurrying out. And begin sniffing the air.
Duck down so it's just their eyeballs.
And looking through the little archway. Mm-hmm. And they're looking back and forth. And they're not goblins. And you see the one creature at the front look at the ones behind it and go, "Roar, roar." And the others go, "Roar." And then as a pack of about 5 or 6, they go scurrying away. These giant rats.
Oh, gross.
Jimothy goes, "That does not look like the ones back home found in the fields."
Rodents of unusual size? I don't believe they exist.
What are you talking about? They're right there. You saw them just as much as I did.
Just your imagination. Come now, brother.
What? Are you losing it? Is the fungus going to your head?
Very funny. You're the one who's more likely to lick it. Come on.
It was salty.
I knew it.
All right, what do y'all decide to do?
Well, I just want to, again, it looks like these are communal living areas, so to speak. So maybe somebody had something interesting. Okay. I don't know if it's like a Best Western or what.
You're going to kind of just do a quick walk through the rest of the building, make sure you don't miss anything?
Yeah, see if there's anything shiny.
Give me a investigation check, and I'll do the same for your brother.
9 plus 4. 13.
13?
Mhm.
He rolled a 1.
He's too busy looking fungus.
His eyes are dilated. I see letters. Just
Damn
like
it,
you,
Jimothy.
sister mine. I, too, can read the languages of the forgotten.
Slap him.
Ah! What are we doing down here? No, I'm joking. No, that's canon. You, on the second floor, you actually come to a large area midway through the building. And back behind it, you see another one of these, like, stone storage areas.
I'm gonna poke through and look.
Inside, you actually find a metal container, like a little tiny chest.
Does it have any writing on it?
It does.
What's it say?
Okay, I'll allow you to have this one, but after this, your spell's going to be up because you spent about an hour down here.
Okay, that's fine.
It says, for emergency.
For emergency. We'd be really mad if this is one of those joke things that snakes pop out of.
Do you open it?
No, it says for emergency. It's not an emergency. I don't know, it might shriek. Might blow up. It might summon an archdemon from the depths of hell. I don't know.
Don't check it for traps or anything like that?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna look at it.
Okay.
Turn it upside down, you know.
Well, give me another investigation
Shake
check.
it. Do the Connor.
You shake it? You hear nothing. I mean, you hear a little bit of a scratch noise. Not like something's living, but like something is moving. Maybe like some padding is moving in there.
15.
You lift up the lid just a little bit. Doesn't seem to be any latch or wire or anything like that, you know, the joke shop in town has made before. So it seems like it would be safe to open.
Okay. Just a tiny peek.
Do you open it?
It says for emergency. I don't want to. I feel like you want me to open it.
It's up to you.
Do you want me to open it?
It's whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Make a decision.
Jimothy, should we open this? It says for emergency.
Open what? And he grabs it and lifts the lid.
Damn it.
His face melts off. I'm joking.
Well.
Inside, packed in
Alas, poor Jimothy. I knew you were
hay? But not hay. Oh no.
magically created
Who knows?
packing peanuts?
Yes, magically created packing peanuts. There are... roll a d4.
A D4. 4.
There are 4 vials
Damn it.
full of a red glowing liquid.
Zemo's gonna be so mad.
Taking these always leads to supremacy.
I bet these are healing thingies.
Is that Miranda saying that?
Partially, but also like it fits with the law of what things do, right? Like if it restores health, it's always red.
You don't. That's,
water is blue.
That's very meta. So we'll say Miranda thinks that's what they are. We're going to say Leah does not, unless you just want to roll me an Arcana check to see if she can figure it out.
Yeah, well, yeah, she might have seen stuff illustrated in one of those books.
Mayhaps we just have to justify it
And
narratively.
clerics might have used healing potions.
No.
No?
No, there have been no healing potions from the church.
Well, I rolled a grand total of 7.
7?
So
Okay. This is definitely a magical liquid of some sort.
I'll examine it later when I have time.
All right. So do you keep the box? Do you
Yeah, of course. It's a cool box. You never know in a box.
for emergencies?
Well, and it seems like it does a good job of keeping them protected and non-broken. It's last for however many centuries of dust we've just inhaled.
Right. You've actually done very well in rolling a lot of the good stuff. So I'm proud of you. Good job.
Thank you, Dungeons and Dragons dice roller.
What would you like to do now?
Well, so we've looked at this communal area. We saw the Rouse meandering and skittering about. So maybe those are them the goblins were referring to. Because the goblin said them.
Oh, they said them in reference to... Wait, when did they say them?
They were talking about we don't want them to hear. So I didn't know if they were talking about
okay, yeah, that line of thought's okay. I was trying to just clarify. I apologize.
the rodents. Because from that, I gathered there was something besides the goblins here.
Right. Okay. So
But
what would you like... Oh, sorry.
I am feeling pretty confident that the goblins are just as much an invader here as anything else. And the original, whoever this belonged to, aren't here anymore. I would like to continue making my way around, like maybe take a look at the fountain, because if it's a center thing, is it the very, very heart of this city town place?
It may be.
Well, could I tell from up there?
You were... Actually, that was probably about the center. You also saw that further on, the buildings start to get a little larger. And there is a main large strip of open area that led from the fountainous area just down a main thoroughfare. But you couldn't see from there because the buildings got a little bit taller than where you were at.
Right, so we're going to check out the fountain. And then, because if they're bigger buildings, that could mean that they're more important. They might be administrative. They might be, maybe there's a hospital or like a governance kind of place or a religious place or school maybe even. So either way, because people tend to organize things the same way. Humans are humans after all.
That's absolutely right.
So make our way to the fountain because I want to see if there's like an inscription on it or if it's like how it's decorated and stuff. Like if these people were artistic in any way.
Okay. It sounds fun.
And obviously being careful because, skittering.
Yeah, Jimothy goes, you sure you want to go out there? It's a lot of open space.
Well, we're going to be very sneaky and careful, but I think we kind of have to see it. You can stay back in the buildings. I'm just going to creep up real quick to take a look at it.
He says, oh, no. I'll go out there with you. Come on, let's go. All right, so you make your way across the plaza over to the fountains.
Yes, I just want to take a look at the fountain.
All right, you want a perception check?
Right, dice roller, how you feeling? So she's feeling okay. I rolled a 15.
15? As you get closer, the fountain isn't flowing. It is full of water, but it's brackish. It's black. There's mold and mildew that's growing on the outside of it, unfortunately. Around the rim, you do see a couple of dirty little paw prints up on, the edge of it, like little bench area sitting. There's some people you would usually sit. As far as that is, it's pretty disgusting. But the fountain itself is very lovely. It is 4 men wearing, just robes from the waist down, the chest bare, carved in a muscular fashion. All 4 of them holding jugs up together where the jugs meet at the top. As if the water was flowing, it would be pouring back on top of them. And they have long sculpted hair that goes down their back and curls magnificently. And they're all kneeling on the center dais together as they do so. They all look exactly the same. But yeah, it's just 4 human men is what's shown here. That's about what you can gain from it.
Okay. So they just look like regular old Joes. They don't look like... They don't have like an extra eye in the middle of their forehead or anything?
No, they look like regular masculine Joes.
Okay. Masculine Joe.
But it is an interesting looking fountain, and you imagine if it was turned on, it would be very lovely.
Yep. But I am not even going to try to get into that plumbing mess.
Yeah, who knows? All clogs and whatnot.
Or magic, which means that I don't have the wherewithal to deal with it.
Right.
So, all right. Well, good to know. Like I said, you can tell a lot about people based on things like that.
Right. You can also tell a lot about people when they're shouting for help, as you hear now.
Oh, great.
Thank you for listening. Please leave a review anywhere you found us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Bountiful Bards. We hope to see you again on the civilized road.
And bring bread and cheese.
As the story goes, until then.